In today's video, we're going to discuss a federal law called the Sherman Antitrust Act. Now, this is a pretty old law. It was passed in 1890, and that's probably a date you want to remember, but it is still very relevant, and it is a law that the government still enforces. Now, the Sherman Antitrust Act, it covers every industry, not just real estate, but insofar as what we're going to discuss in this video, we're going to discuss how it impacts and is applicable to the real estate industry. And the biggest thing that we find is there are 4 areas of concern that it regulates this industry, and especially the parts you need to know for the real estate licensing exam. And the first one is what we call price fixing. The second one is group boycotting. Number 3 is market allocation, and number 4 is what we call tie-in agreements. And we're going to discuss each one in detail and how they apply to the real estate business. Now, the first area I want to talk about is what's called price fixing. And price fixing exists when there are 2 or more competing brokers that set a commission, a fee, or a management rate, or a buyer cooperating agent payout, something to that effect. The key here is it prohibits 2 or more brokers from conspiring to set those things. And I've left a couple of examples on your screen there. If you take a look at example number 1, an example of a antitrust violation would be broker A and broker B. They sit down over breakfast and they both agree that, hey, if you charge 6% and I charge 6%, we're not competing against each other, and we're going to guarantee that we get 6%. And that would be an antitrust violation. Example number 2, it says brokers and or agents. This applies to both brokers and agents. They can't use terms such as standard or average or the going rate. And what I mean by that is, let's say a listing agent goes on a listing appointment to try to get a home up for sale. And while they're meeting with the seller and they're discussing the commission rate, if that agent uses a word or a term like, hey, the average commission in our area, or the standard commission that real estate agents charge, or the going rate today in our area for commission, those are things that imply that there is a fixed standardized commission rate. That is a violation of antitrust laws, all right? So, and it actually even goes a little further than that for this particular area. Even if 2 or more brokers get together just to simply discuss commission rates or discuss what fees they're charging or what their management fees are or those type of things, just getting together and having the conversation could actually rise to the level of an antitrust violation. There's a lot of what ifs in that scenario, but it is something that brokers, when they get together, and they often do, as an association or as an organization, they have to be very careful when it comes to discussing these kind of items. Now, there is an exception to this. So if broker A and broker B, broker A is the listing company and broker B has a buyer, they can negotiate commissions and fees and payouts and things like that. They can do that for that one single individual transaction. That would be an exception. Example number 3, boards or commissions or organizations or associations, they can't set or standardize commissions, fees, payouts to cooperating brokers or management fees, those type of things, based on membership. So here's what I mean. The National Association of Realtors, they could not put out a requirement that, hey, if you're going to be a member of our organization, the minimum commission that you can charge a seller is 6%, or the minimum management fee, or those type of things. They couldn't make that a requirement. Another thing that these groups can't do is deny membership based on that. So maybe you have let's say the National Association of Realtors again said, listen, if you're going to be a member of our association and participate in the multiple listing service, then you must pay out cooperating buyers brokers a minimum of blank % in buyer agent commission. That would be a violation. All right, because there are some members of the association that are members and they do use the multiple listing service and they don't pay anything for buyer cooperation. So that's what this law does. It would forbid that practice. And one last thing, as you can see on the bottom of your screen here, it says note. It says an individual company can set a commission percentage. They can set a fee requirement, those type of things. A singular company can say our minimum commission that our independent contractor agents and associate brokers can charge is 6%. Or everyone in this company, a minimum broker administrative commission is $300 or whatever the case may be. A company can do it. We get into trouble when two or more companies conspire to set a fee or a commission. All right, the second prohibition under the Sherman Antitrust Act is what we call group boycotting. So this exists when two or more competing brokers collectively decide not to do business with a third-party competitor. And it's a blatant attempt to put that person out of business or eliminate competition. So let's say we have broker A, B, and C. And let's just say, for example, all three companies have 33% of the market share in their local area. So broker A and B get together and say, hey, listen, let's not show broker C's property. What they're trying to do is eliminate competition. That would be a violation of the antitrust law. Now, let's say broker A and broker C do not get along for whatever reason. Broker A can have a company policy that says you won't show broker B's or broker C's listings. They could do that. A company would not be in violation of the antitrust law if A company said, I'm not going to show C company listings. All right, example number 2, local brokers or organizations agreeing to boycott a local newspaper until the newspaper lowers their advertising cost. And this applies not only to local brokers, but it would also apply to organizations and associations. So let's say the local newspaper, everybody advertises in it and it's very expensive. Well, if all the brokers got together and went to the newspaper and said, listen, your rates are too high, we're all going to boycott you until you lower your prices, that is a violation of antitrust laws. Now, again, a company can say your prices are too high and we're not going to advertise, but when two or more get together to conspire, that's when it becomes an issue. All right, and I noted that at the bottom of this slide here. Prohibition number 3 is what we call market allocation. This is where two or more parties agree to divide their marketplace. So let's say broker A and B in a local area says, listen, A says, I'll take every listing south of Main Street. You take every listing north of Main Street. So they have collectively divided the market area with the guarantee that they won't poach each other's side of Main Street. That is a violation of antitrust. This also extends to customers or past customers as well. So if two or more brokers got together and said, hey, let's not poach each other's current customers and let's not poach past customers, that again would also be a violation. All right. And then lastly, prohibition number 4 under the Sherman Antitrust Act, they're called tie-in agreements. And it's an agreement to sell a product or provide a service only on the condition that that customer will purchase an additional product or purchase an additional service. So how do we see this in real estate, or where do we see this in real estate? Honestly, here's a common one. So you're a listing agent. You go on a listing appointment and the seller says, yes, we're going to sell our house and then turn around and buy another house. And the agent says, well, here's the deal. I only allow, or I only charge a 6% commission. I don't accept anything less than 6%. That is okay because it's singular. That company or that person, 6% is the minimum commission. But if you guarantee me or allow me to represent you on the buy side, I will reduce my commission to 4% or 5%. That is a tie-in agreement, and that is illegal under the Sherman Antitrust Act. Another example would be, let's say that you're a licensed real estate agent and you own a vacant lot in a subdivision that's being developed, and a builder wants to buy the lot from you, and you say, fine, I will sell you this lot, but when the house is ready and it's ready to go on the market, you have to guarantee that you're going to use me as the listing agent. That would also be considered a tie-in agreement and would be illegal under the Sherman Antitrust Act. Those are the two, I guess, the most visual examples that I have for the tie-in agreement provision of the Sherman Antitrust Act. And last but not least, if you're going to continue studying for your real estate licensing exam, check out this video right here. It will help you. And if you have not subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. It does help with the growth of the channel. Click on the little circle to my left and make sure you click that little notification bell. And don't forget, any comments or questions, put them down in the comments section of this channel. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.